right, yeah,
Okay,
let's
so
go.
once you've finished with Tadros the Vizier, he looks at you. Anything else?
That is it. Thank you.
Oh,
Guess we'll see.
and I wouldn't worry about the reimbursement cost of the pearls. We've got that covered.
Well, thank you very much. You're too kind.
Says, well, yes, we'll go rescue your friend from the clutches of Wendell Malroy, and we'll see you in the morning.
Will do. Thank you thank you again.
I suggest you don't come too early.
Will you suggest we come too early, or you suggest we don't
I
come?
suggest you don't come too early.
Okay.
The king can be a little bit grumpy if he hasn't had his breakfast.
Okay. Well, I know how I can relate the same way.
He needs to have his bath with the royal bathers before he meets anybody. Puts a smile on his face, if you understand.
All right, I'm gonna bow and get the fuck out.
Alrighty, so you are escorted out of the palace grounds and back onto the streets of Rhydian. Okay, it's of course, it was late evening when or kind of early evening when you got there. By now, it's kind of late evening. Do you have any game plans, or are you just wanting to go retire somewhere?
The letter that we got from the king, is it sealed shut, or can we read it?
He stamped it with the seal, so you'd have to break the seal to read it.
So I was just wondering, can we go get Marlo now? But I don't know if we can.
I would rather her not spend the night in prison.
Me too.
Kia might, but you know, let's.
She's used to sleeping in squalor.
Yeah, she sleeps in dirt most nights when there's a perfectly good bed available.
But still, I'd like to get her if we can.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go over there.
Alright, well, if you remember when you went there yesterday, once it had kind of got to the evening, the whole place is closed up. So when you get there, nope, the doors are firmly locked, and there's no sign of life inside.
Sorry, Marlo. Guess we go to the tavern.
Which one?
The one that we
Not the
didn't
one
get
Kia
thrown out
got
of.
kicked out of.
Not the one that Kia got kicked out of?
I forgot she did that.
Yeah. Hey, Scarface. Okay, so you have a choice then. You can stay at the Thirsty Raven, which is this one right here, or you can go back to where the sisters are.
We're going to the nice one in town.
Okay. All right. Let's take you, in that case, to the Thirsty Raven and get you guys taken care of for the night. And here you are. Let's put you at the door. Race is already at the door. Radovan, I'm putting you down at the door.
Alright. Walk up to the innkeeper and say, hello.
He says, oh, evening again.
Another room for myself and, well, 2 rooms. One for myself, one for my 2 friends behind me. Kia. Fucking follow too. There you go.
What's funny is even when Jane is playing Kia, she usually is left behind, forgets to move herself. Okay, he says. So, is that 2 rooms or 3 rooms?
2 rooms, one for myself, one for my friends.
Okay, so they're sharing a room then. Not a problem. Are you going to be supping with us this evening? Would you like a beverage?
Water and food delivered to my room. Is that fine? Like room service?
Oh, absolutely.
It'll be great.
Any preference on what we provide this evening?
All the meats you got, cheese, bread. You know, go, have fun. Go
Oh,
silly.
fair enough. And what about for you ladies back there?
The same?
The same water and all the food that apparently a 6'2" knight in armor can eat. Fair enough.
Between the 2 of us, yeah.
Do you have any Gazzleberry pie?
Gazzleberry. No, can't get Gazzleberries around here, I'm afraid.
Oh? Why not?
Well, not very common. I think last time I heard, the closest place you could get Gazzleberries was probably about 200 miles from here.
So the stuff that they were selling in the inn outside of town was not Gazzleberries.
No, unfortunately, they are indeed gazelberries, yes. I can't get gazelberries. Apparently, they seem to have a means to get their hands on them.
It's not illegal or anything, is it?
No, not illegal, just very hard to acquire. At least in these parts. Very pricey, too. For berries.
Well, I'm sorry.
What are their pies like, incidentally? Are they any good?
I just look at Risa.
I'm walking up to the stairs.
Oh, I look at nothing because Risa's walking up.
You're like, oh, where'd she go?
They're
I'm sure
very.
Kia's gone too.
Son of a bitch. They're very sweet. They're delicious. I'm not going to lie to you.
I thought as much. We make a very good blueberry pie.
I'll have some of that. Not for the ladies because they completely abandoned me.
Fair enough. We'll send up a nice big warm fresh slice. Compliments of the house. How does that sound?
Oh, I give them a gold piece, hoping that'll
that'll more than cover the rooms and the fort and the food and the beverages for this evening. I very much breakfast as well. I would not have a problem with at all for this. Very kind of you.
Well, you're very welcome. Thank you very much.
Well, we'll be up in. I'll send the girl up in. As quick as we've got it ready for you, my friend.
Thank you, good sir.
Enjoy your night.
You too. Hope there's no trouble. I'm gonna get the fuck out.
GTFO. Okay.
GTFO. Yeah.
So you all retire. About 20 minutes later, you hear the knocking on the door, and the serving wench brings you all a huge, big serving tray with your drinks on and way more food than you could possibly consume. Well, at least Kia and Racer probably can't consume it all.
I'm sharing with Kia.
Yep, but you did in fact eat all the pies, so... Okay, so yep, you get your full. The food is delicious, well cooked. There's a large array of fruits, vegetables, and mostly on your plate is all meats.
Alright. I'm gonna eat it all and go take a bath if there's, go downstairs, ask for a bath. If I don't, go to sleep.
Okay. Does Kia want to take a bath?
I think she should.
Kia would probably take a bath only if Raisa tested the water first.
Yeah, it's like you've got to put your toe in the water and then you've got to dip the soap in the water and look at the soap. Like, okay.
It takes her a long time to take a bath now.
Yeah, she's paranoid. Okay, so yeah, you guys get bathed, have a good, comfortable night's sleep.
Sounds good.
All right. Following morning, you wake up bright and early.
Have some breakfast.
And?
Not too early.
Hey, if the king's going to sleep in, you may as well, right? Okay, and then you going to head straight over to the magistrates, or you got other detouring plans afoot?
I think Marlo was prioritize.
Yeah, let's get Marlo out of there.
Alrighty.
Save Marlo!
Save Marlo indeed. Okay, so let's take you to the city streets. And look at that, you're already there. So yep, takes you about 45 minutes to get to the magistrate's office. By the time you get there, it is indeed open. And we will close the tavern music because the magistrate's office has a very different ambiance. Alright, let's take you inside there. Right, once you go inside, just inside the main door, there's like a clerk who looks at you and he says, morning. Can I help you?
I'm just going to offer the writs that the king wrote, not saying a word.
Oh, I see. I can't open this. This is for the magistrate. He's about to... there's a court session about to start. You're welcome to go in and sit and observe if you want.
We're actually here to get someone out of prison. That's what this writ is. So.
Well, you'll have to wait until the court session is over, I'm afraid. Magistrate's a very busy man. Can't be interrupted.
Who is up for the court?
Some couple of offences. One fellow who has been arrested for vagrancy. Let's see here. Oh, there's just a young, seems to be a girl here that struck a noble. We've got 2 petty thefts and a stabbing to address.
The lady who struck the noble, that's who we are here to get out of prison.
Oh, well, you might want to hurry up and go in. I think, by the looks of it, they're probably going to be calling her to the stand any minute.
All right, let's go.
We will make haste.
They
Yes,
walk
ma'am.
in the middle and see Marlo shouting, "And I do it again!"
He deserved it, by golly. Oh. It's not letting me move you. There you go. Alrighty. Okay, as you enter into the courtroom, it's all rather quiet. And you just, literally as you walk in, you see the judge bang his gavel down and says, "Next case!" And a guard comes out and escorts a familiar-looking Marlo into this little box, holding box here at the side. He says, the courts will hear the people versus... And he kind of glances, he says, Marlo, is this your name? You girl!
You don't have to snap.
He says, this is a court of law. I expect a certain amount of decorum.
Decorum this.
I am.
He says, good, you are charged with striking this fellow. And he points to this guy over here in the right, and you recognize a rather kind of overly made up noble. He's got like caked on makeup across his lower lip and his right side of his jaw. You do remember when you hit him, it did kind of bust his lip open pretty heavy.
Marlo gets like a fond smile on her face.
He says, approach the stand. And the guard opens the door and escorts you up the stairs to sit here in this pleasant little chair.
Nope. I'll stand on top of him instead.
Get off me, says the guard.
But I love you.
Okay. He looks at you and he says, so, Marlo, how do you plead to this crime? Striking a noble with no provocation.
I wouldn't call him a noble.
I didn't ask anything other than a yes or no. Are you guilty or innocent?
I am guilty.
You are? Well, that seems to be a fairly cut and dry case then. Is there anything you wish to add?
I'm going to be
Why don't you
holding
tell
up.
him about the family you were threatening to kill?
He says,
I would like to hear about that.
I never threatened to do anything of the sort. What slanderous remarks.
Thought you might say that.
He says, who do you speak of anyway? Who did I threaten allegedly?
Your former champion.
Valius Rogar? Why would I do such a thing?
Maybe because he refused to fight me.
Well, initially I do know he did, in fact, say that he didn't want to, and that was the last I heard of it, and then I was rather surprised to hear that he changed his mind and agreed. But, I certainly don't remember any conversations where I threatened the man, or his family. Is this why you struck me, is it? For
It
this
is.
outlandish rumor? Well,
Rumor. Let's talk about rumors. I killed an emperor, apparently.
So they say. Now, you're lucky the laws of that land don't stand here, or they'd have you here for murder. At which point the judge looks at him and he says, enough. He said, we're not here to discuss the what, whens, and why fors about previous accusations. He says, so, ill regards to whether or not there was or was not a threat made against Valius Rogar, do you have any evidence of this that you'd like to bring forth?
Evidence of his family being threatened?
Yes, do you have any evidence? Do you have any witnesses that would testify that this man threatened Valius Rogar's family's lives?
I have to say no, because the only man who knew about it is dead.
And who was this?
Valius Rugar himself.
I see. But you have no proof that this man here that you stand accused of striking was responsible for these threats? Is this correct?
I do not. It's correct.
Well then, unfortunately, I have no alternative but to find you guilty of the aforementioned crime. Striking a noble, it would appear that this is your first offense, carries the term of 1 year.
Your Honor, alleged noble.
No, he is indeed a noble.
I want the proof.
Do you have your patents of nobility with you?
Yes,
do.
Do you carry your pedigree around with you?
And he reaches into his coat and brings out like a scroll and brings it over and hands it to the judge, who looks at it and says, "Here, this is a patent of nobility."
I'm sorry, I can't read.
Well, basically this says and is marked by the King's Vizier himself. He is a third-generation noble. His family is in its third generation of nobility.
Oh, I see. So you didn't do anything to earn that nobility.
He says, enough! This is, as I said, I have no choice but to find you guilty and sentence you to 1 year imprisonment here below the city courts in the jail cells. Take her away. Okay, the judge comes and, or the guard comes upstairs and begins to escort you down the stairs towards the side door. Next case. Okay, are you gonna just kind of, you guys want to do anything, or are you gonna let her wait until all the proceedings are done?
I'm gonna wait for all the proceedings to be done. I don't want to be in contempt of court.
All right.
That's probably against the law.
Right, let's move her over. Okay. All right. Well,
I would think Kia right at this point would be fidgeting.
yeah, she's probably awkward. Okay. Well, basically, you sit there and hear him arrest a guy and sentence him to a week imprisonment for vagrancy. You hear a lengthy argument, basically about somebody saying that this other person stabbed him. They go backwards and forwards, blah 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 blah. In the end, he finds the other guy guilty, sentences him to 5 years imprisonment, and he says, "Well, it would appear that we've cleared the docket for today. Court's adjourned." The whole thing only took about 2 hours. As you can see, this is not a... There is no jury of peers. You stand before the judge decides what happens to you. He hears the case, that's it, done.
I'm gonna approach as people start, I imagine, filing out.
Yep. Okay, the judge is kind of standing up and begins to walk down, or begin to walk down these stairs. The judge, aka the magistrate.
Sir.
Okay, he kind of glances at you, and as you approach, this guard here kind of walks over to intercept you.
I'm going to be holding up the scroll. A message from the king, sir.
Oh, from the king?
From his very own hands.
You've been sitting there this entire time with that, have you?
Yes, I did not want to be in breach of court, contempt of court.
Well, it's kind of hard to be in contempt of court when you're bringing a message from the king himself. Anyway, bring it here.
Shots fired. Punch this guy.
I'm just gonna mumble. I'm not
Bloody nobles!
I'm gonna hand it over and be like, I'm not familiar with the protocol of these lands.
He said, no, I quite understand. Oh, yes, well, you could have saved us all an awful lot of trouble if you'd have just handed this to me the first time. He says, guard. He
Again.
says, go and fetch that woman, the one that we just sentenced for striking this noble. What? Says the noble as he stands up. He says, yes, she's been pardoned by the king, you know. Preposterous! That's absurd! I demand justice! He says, oh, well, would you like to take it up with the king, then? You know where he is. No. Well, very well. Okay, they bring Marlo out from the northern door. He says, before we have a repeat performance, I do suggest that, guards, keep the cuffs on her and the ankle bracelets, if you will, just for a moment. At which point this guard walks over to your noble friend and says, I suggest you leave before we uncuff her. He says, yes, quite. come along. And him and his friend quickly escort the courtyard, or the courtroom. As they leave, you can hear him saying, well, I don't know what she did. I don't know who she knows, but that's quite absurd. He said, I mean, she struck me in plain view for nothing. These rumours, these preposterous rumours that I've threatened our champion's life. I've never heard the such. I've never been so insulted in my entire life. His friend says, all I can say is you've been damned lucky. And they continue to walk out.
Kia would probably fireball at that point.
Go ahead. Let's do that. Let's fireball in the court. Let's arrest Kia for life imprisonment. Okay. Once the guy is gone, he kind of waits 5 minutes, and then says, "Okay, you can remove those." The guard takes your shackles off. Says, "Here you go, miss."
Thank you.
He says, "Right. Hold on a second." He said, if you wouldn't mind just escorting and waiting at the clerk's office, he'll have something for you here shortly. I've got to sign off on this and provide you with a document that shows that you were in fact acquitted of this crime. You'll need it at least for the next week or so. Just to avoid should any of the guards pick you up thinking that you maybe escaped or somehow avoided justice, this will make sure you're safe. Pineapple King, thank you for the follow. Alrighty, so
why am I being released?
At this point, is Marlo still over there?
I think so. Yeah, she's kind of like looking a bit bewildered, like not sure what's going on.
So Raisa's kind of getting as close as she can without like the guards kind of getting mad.
Right.
So when Marlo says that, she's gonna kind of look at you and shush you. Shut up, Marlo.
He says, "Is this all? Is it?"
Oh. Is he asking
I thought
me?
it was the guard beside me.
No.
Okay.
He says, "Is this all? Is it?"
I will just have you know that the Coliseum is a corrupt sham. As a magistrate, you should probably want to look into it.
Here's the thing. And I'm not making excuses, but, sham, definitely not. Corrupt? Oh, I've no doubt about it. Anywhere that there is betting, violence, and bloodthirsty combats where people fight to the death, of course there's going to be corruption. The problem is, no one ever seems to bring any evidence forward. It's very hard to prosecute or deal with anything with no evidence.
Well, here's the thing. You remember the writ you wrote my friend Marlo? About owing a debt of like 600 gold to the Clearington sisters, or the Clearing sisters, or whatever the hell, those twin sisters in the inn outside of town?
Yes.
You remember that?
Yes, she stood here before a court of law and admitted that she owed a debt of 600 to those girls. Anyway, yes, she said...
Next thing I know, she's in a ranked fight going against the champion of the arena for being a concubine assassin from the north. Now, isn't that evidence enough for you to hear this crazy escalation of her story? A thing where...
Well, if you can bring me evidence of where this is falsified, and if you can show me who arranged for this apparent lie...
Heard it.
Everyone heard it. Exactly.
Yes, but
also,
who am I to hold accountable for it?
Those sisters. I happen to detect the inner workings of their hearts, and they are definitely of the evil nature.
So you have evidence that they actually falsified something.
I'm a priest of St. Cuthbert's, and I'm well aware that they are deceptive and manipulative, and they're running that arena like a sham it is. They even have freaking Glastonbury pies in their tavern, something that's apparently very hard for other tavern owners to get. The evidence is all right there, just in how they conduct their business in that tavern.
He says, I'm very aware of the Coliseum sisters. They've appeared before me 4 times, in the last 2 years, in fact. The problem is, no evidence. This is what I'm trying to explain to you.
You have a Vizier, a very powerful wizard of the king, who can do scrying magic, can do detection magic.
We do indeed.
You go to him to ask him to do that and find out.
And the last 2 crimes that they've been accused of, he did that, and both times he agreed and said, that they appear to be innocent.
But shouldn't they be on watch? If
We can't watch them when they haven't done anything.
Well, here's what you do.
Question: are the two sisters nobles?
Oh no, far from it.
Sweet.
So,
Oh yes, no, they're quite punchable, I'm afraid. No,
here's my suggestion, Lord Magistrate.
he said I don't deal in suggestions. If you have a,
No,
if you have
it's
a
a
crime,
suggestion that'll get result to you. You allow me to apply a mark of justice on those two sisters, that if they break the law ever or do anything untoward towards the kingdom, there will become ugly little bitches.
See, unfortunately,
and you'll see that they did something wrong. It'll be on their
unfortunately,
face.
we have a law here in Iridian that stipulates that no magics can be cast on anybody without their consent. If they will consent to it, you can do it.
Look, they obviously won't consent if I suggest it, but what if it becomes a court affair? And it'll be a way that they could refer that they're good people.
They haven't committed a crime. I can't try them for something they haven't done.
It'll keep them in check at least, because you'll know if they did commit a crime.
We're not
ugly
here to
as
keep
fuck.
them in check. This is a court of law. People are innocent and
The whole
found
point of a court
guilty.
of law is to
Yes.
keep people in check.
Yes,
Well,
when they're found
that's the whole
guilty,
philosophy.
bring evidence, bring us evidence, make a charge against them, have them arrested, we can go through this procedure. Until then, I am powerless to do anything.
We've shown you a very
I'll go for the win.
contract.
Maybe
We
need
did
to
show you the
provide-
contract. I don't understand. The contract
Code
was of
Muncher,
something,
thanks for following.
and then it was changed. So clearly, then they lied
Doxis,
over a
thanks for following.
contract. You do see that, right? They signed a contract for a thing that was then changed manipulatively behind our backs. You saw the contract.
No, I never
Why
saw any
don't you believe-
contract. I saw we had a discussion about a debt. I never saw any contract regarding fighting.
While this argument's going on, Marlo's gonna tap the guy beside her and ask if there's any way he can check on the former champion's family.
He kind of looks at you and he says, "Why?"
I'm concerned about them, sir. I wasn't lying when I said that he told me his family was in danger.
I'll make sure someone checks on him.
Thank you, sir.
Marlo, do you still have that contract we filled out that proved that we made with those sisters? Because I had last gave it to you.
Oh, you did, and I thrust it at people, and I don't know what happened to it after that.
She stuffed it in the noble's hands and said, "Here," and that's the last you saw of it.
Fuck. All right.
Yeah, I don't remember what happened to it. I just remember trying to.
Yeah, I remember you stuffed it in his hand and he took it, and then you were arrested and carted
Yeah.
off. He still has it.
Shit, that is what happened, isn't it?
Yep, that's exactly what
Ah,
happened.
that's the evidence. We probably destroyed it by now.
So can I like reach for Marlo at this point? Like,
Yeah, absolutely. The guard's
on
not
the
restraining her in any way.
yeah.
He's quite happy to let her go. She's as innocent as anybody else in here.
Good girl.
Risa.
And I'm just gonna kind of like take her like, and kind of start escorting her.
You need a rolled up newspaper, and anytime she attempts to punch a noble, you need to hit her on the nose, say, "No, no."
I was like, Radaman, come on, let's go. We have to get to the king.
Yeah, everything's above board at this place. I like how you do business, but you're letting guilty parties escape. They're
He said,
obviously doing
"Trust
illegal
me.
things.
Find evidence. Bring me something solid, and I'll throw these women in jail. But until someone can actually do that,
Do you want
I
me to break
can't
into
do
their
it.
room? How do I find out?
Of course not.
Well,
But if
why
you,
don't
if
you just do a search? It's just on
because we
suspicion.
haven't got any, we have
They know
no
what I can
reason.
do.
We can't do it. Do you not understand? You can't just break in and search on the off chance they've done something.
Ah, yeah.
Says this is not a kangaroo court, my friend. This is a legitimate court
Yeah,
of
it's
law.
Marlo's fault. She paper. They're just gonna walk out like.
It's okay, Red.
But at
Maybe
least
what I
she's
can do,
free.
Maybe I can get them too. What's up?
Just want justice by those women. Just saying.
Okay, so you're gonna head to the castle.
Yeah, we're heading to the castle.
All right.
So I'm assuming we'll fill Marlo in on everything, things that have been identified.
Okay. So you've let her. You basically
how we got her out.
So she, in theory, knows everything that happened prior to. You filled her in as best as possible. Okay, cool. All right. Well, once you get into you enter the king's throne room, and you are immediately escorted through to that chamber that you were taken into to the right of the king's throne.
We would have told her, should we get to go on a mission to punch things? And that'll make her happy.
Yeah, there you go.
Pretty much.
All right. He is not there this time around. Okay. So, in you come. Racer, I'll put right here, because she's not going to be, like, to the front of anything.
Nope.
Right.
She's hiding behind Bradavan.
The king looks up at you and he says, "Good morning. Now then, where's this feisty lass you told
King
me
Arthur?
about?"
Sorry.
I'm just gonna gesture behind me to Marlo and say, "Go first this time."
Are you sure? Oh, okay.
Well, so this young whippersnapper is what put Valius Rogar on his ass, is it?
Yes, Your Majesty.
Well, I don't quite know how, but my hat is off to you, or at least my crown. He said, "To have bested Valius Rogar, you must indeed be a skilled combatant." Did you cheat?
Oh, no, sir.
I would have cheated. I'm just saying.
Just,
Squall goes,
just
thanks
my
for following.
hands. No magic or...
With just your bare hands. You know, even if one of my own knights had made that claim, I would think it to be an idle boast. For some reason, I believe you, lass. I don't quite know why, but there's something strange about you.
Thank you.
Purple Glitch and Arisharin, thanks for the follow. He says, "Now then, did your friends enlighten you as to what you're doing here this morning?"
Yes, sir. We're here to do you a service, to investigate.
Right. So, your friend has been freed. I trust Wendell Malroy didn't give you too much of a hard time.
The magistrate, Marlo.
Oh, no, sir. He was perfectly pleasant. I can't say the same for the alleged noble that owns the Coliseum.
Well, between you and me, and I'll deny it if you say it, I'm quite glad that somebody put that pompous asshole on his ass.
Right? I mean, yes, Your Majesty.
Can't condone punching nobility, mind, but, it wasn't too hard to persuade me to, let you off of that little offense. But, I trust that these fast-flying fists of yours may come to a more useful means.
I'm interested.
He says, "Well, I'll let our Vizier explain. If you will excuse me, I need to see my son off. He has taken a group of knights north of here to investigate this town that's been burned and ransacked that you reported."
Oh,
At which point, he just says, "I bid you good day," and heads towards the door.
I'm gonna bow.
he's going north?
The son kind of gets right level with you and bows kind of rather shallowly, and then says, "Before you go, I don't condone the adjusting of laws for anything." He said, "Well, I understand my father's point of view on this matter, the greater good and all that. I was there, you see. I've witnessed it. I don't know how skilled you are, but if this creature, as it clearly is no longer the knight that it once was, if you do find it and encounter it, I just hope that you are in a situation better to deal with it than we were. I've never seen something like it. Every blow, 5 knights attacking it at once, parried every single blow as if it knew that they were coming, and struck at every weakness. He cut through these the rest of our knights like they were, well, like a hot knife through butter.
Can I do knowledge the planes with this description?
You can make a roll if you wish.
Try to ascertain the... Nope!
Yay!
A 1.
I'm fucking done. I'm like legitimately done with this game. I always roll 1. Yeah.
Okay. That's... Okay. Knowledge planes. What do you know? Yep. You seem to have heard rumors about ethereal knights that have been known to come across from other planes and attack people on in the prime material plane. They're like ginormous ghostly figures of knights. Rumors has it that they're knights that have died and have basically their spirits have found their way into the ethereal plane, a very strange and unusual thing. But from time to time, from the ethereal plane or astral plane, they have managed to find their way on back to the prime material plane, and usually are full of vengeance.
Is this the cock and bull story you're giving me because I rolled a 1, or is that?
Hey, that's what you know, right? That's at least that's
All right.
that's what you process in your head.
Got it. Okay. Strange. I'm just gonna keep that to myself.
I hope you
Sounds
wouldn't
rapish.
rash
Wraithish, right?
any majesty. I don't know.
I thought you said you did say wraithish and not rapish, right? I was like, wait, what? Okay. He says,
I hope you
anyway.
don't make me rash to think it sounds like a challenge.
He says, well, from what I understand, you quite like to be challenged. I think this is going to certainly do that. Our Vizier seems to think that the reason it's able to anticipate every move me or my knights make is because somehow it is connected to us, spiritually or mentally. I don't understand, to be honest. He seems to think that because it'll have no connection to you, it won't be able to do the same. If he can, we won't meet again. So, my ladies, sir, and he heads out the door with the king. Once they've left and the room is left to you and the Vizier, he kind of walks over quietly and says, now then, I have not seen this thing. The description that they give is that it is the former owner's suit of armor, yet it appears to be hollow inside. There are no eyes can be seen through the visor, only a dim lit reddish glow. From what I hear, it randomly seems to attack anybody in the forest. 13 woodsmen have been killed. 2 or 3 fishermen that were stupid enough to fish on the forest side of the lake. And now, almost a dozen of our finest knights.
Maybe it's scared.
Well, if it is, it's dealing with its fright in a rather gruesome and aggressive way. I wish I knew what this thing was. I pored over my tomes and books looking for some kind of information. Honestly, I've never heard of something like this.
And this is this thing rose from the slain king's
No.
guard, or is this just a thing you found in the woods?
No, you see, that's not exactly what happened. You see, Sir Errol, periodically, when our knights... When knights first become knights, they spend their first year as questing knights. They are sent out to do great and magical deeds, or wonderful deeds of valor. And then they return. But over time, sometimes these knights, if in the event of no war and stuff like that, they tire of the constant training and the... You understand, the...
They become errant.
Yes, they become errant. And at that point, they yearn to... to flavor combat once again. They yearn to go out and do something adventurous. Well, Sir Errol was one of these. Sir Errol left. And he returned after 6 months with tales of battling some strange creature in a dark crypt in some cave far to the northwest of here. Well, not long after that, he started to become very withdrawn. Wouldn't come out of his room. Didn't want to train with the other knights. And slowly but surely, he kind of diminished to where he barely spoke to anybody. Indeed, he stopped eating altogether. And then, one day, he just marched straight out of the city gates, left his faithful horse and steed behind, and wandered into the forest. Well, that's when the first group of knights went looking for him, worried and concerned, thinking that they were just going to find him melancholy and bring him back. Only when they did find him, Sir Errol was not himself, and he butchered 5 of those knights. They came back and explained the circumstance to the king. Well, King Marcus, as I explained before, has always been a very on-hand sort of ruler. Wanted to see this firsthand. Believed that his son, who was very good friends with Sir Errol, could get through to him. That he may be struck with some kind of insanity or... Anyway, long story short, they did find Sir Errol. And he considered or continued to waylay into these group of knights. And quite honestly, if it wasn't for the fact that Sir Harrow was smart enough to insist that they pull the prince and the king away, we may be looking at a severed bloodline right now. Indeed, we need to deal with this problem. It's becoming quite an issue. No one can go into the forest, and the peasants are all up in arms about the situation. They're very upset because most of them rely on the forest for a livelihood. Hunting, fishing, logging. Taking that away from them is, well, let's just say they look to their ruler to take care of the problem, and under the circumstances, he now looks to you to take care of the problem.
Sounds like this guy's pure fighting spirit now.
Could well be. King Butterchief, thanks for the follow.
It just goes. Love it. Well, we will do what we can. I guess we should make haste. Don't want to stay out too late.
Do you need any provisions, any possessions that you think that you would need for... I don't think it'll take you long. I think if you don't find it, it'll find you.
Well, that's what we should hope to happen. Thank you.
Do you need anything? I can make sure it's provided for you before you leave.
I look at everyone else and I say, well, Marlo's ready to go right now.
Let's go!
Yeah, Marlo... It's been an entire day since Marlo's killed somebody.
I think we're good, Lord Vizier. We'll be fine, and hopefully we'll be back.
I bid you good luck, and I do hope to see you again.
You're a good man. I'm just gonna go.
Alrighty. Okay, he watches you leave. One of the guards escorts you out of the throne room, or out of the side room, and escorts you down through the throne room to the front gates of the palace. Alrighty. Okay, let's take you to the outside view of Rhydian. Here you go. Alright. Do you guys want to visit anywhere or do anything before you leave the city?
Can we fireball the tavern?
Kia can fireball anything she wishes.
Oh, all right.
Kia is trying to make up with Cal.
That's true.
Is she? I don't know about that.
She still said some things that were not Cal friendly.
Yeah. I've got a feeling you guys may play Kia nicer than she would. Alrighty. So yeah, do you want to do anything inside the city before you head out into the forest, or are you set to go?
I think I'm set to go.
Do we know how far away we have to go, or?
The forest is literally you go out the gates to where the village is, and
Okay,
it's
so we don't
the
need,
village runs right up to the
ribbons
edge of
or
the
anything.
forest.
Oh, I should probably ask if they ever did heal me.
You were treated in the cells and healed 3 points, so you could have naturally healed yourself 20 yesterday. So that would be, you were on 4, so 7. You'd be on 27. If you do it again today, you'd be on 47.
Okay, good enough.
So you used your heal this morning?
I did.
Your meditation? All right, so you're on 47, okay. And of course, you got a walking heal bot with you, so. All right, so you guys.
I'm gonna heal her 17 apparently.
Oh
no, that's +5, so it's 13.
+5. No, it's 13. Yeah, you maxes out.
Yep.
Cure Light doesn't go above +5. Okay, so 13 added to your 47.
Yay,
That
thank
takes
you.
you pretty much right there. Okay, so if nobody has anything they want to do inside the city, you leave the city. And you can see the...
As we walk by that one inn that the sisters and they have the mom, I'm gonna be like, I'm coming back for that ass.
You're not going in there? Not going to go and cause any trouble?
Not just yet. I might get arrested again, and I want to go fight this thing out.
Can we actually do second break before
We are about to do that, yeah. That's why I'm just trying to make sure you guys see what you're doing. All right. Are you taking the horse and cart, or are you going on foot? Probably going to be very
that far,
hard.
I say we go on foot.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard to take the horse and cart through the forest.
Agree.
All right. Okay, well, we leave our heroes as they get to the very edge of the forest, and we're going to take our second break.